Hello, stock paper chasers. This is Boss Ross. When they came and dropped some education on you today while you're investing in the stock market, just so you know. I see the question a lot asked, when do I take a profit? When do I sell a stock? Another question should be, do you know the tax implications when you do sell a stock? I'm here to share that with you today. So basically in the stock market, there are two types of gains. There's short-term gains, capital gains, short-term capital gains, and long-term capital gains. And both of them have that different tax situation that may apply to you. So basically when you're selling an asset in the market, it's basically you're selling a stock, a bond, precious metals, things of that nature. So the tax you pay on capital gains depends on how long you have held it before selling it, right? And that's where you get your capital gains long or capital gains short. Long-term capital gains are held for more than 1 year. That's what classifies as a long-term capital gain. Accordingly, if you held it for more than a year, then the thresholds for that income to be taxable is going to be the maximum of 20%. So the most you can get taxed on that is 20% or less, because they have 0, 15%, and 20%. So the most that you will get taxed on it is 20%. Now, short-term capital gain is the opposite. Anything that you have bought in the stock market and you sold under a year period. Now, that will mean you will be subject to up to a 37% tax bracket. Yes, up to a 37% tax bracket. So, and again, that's something that you bought in the stock market and you sold within the year. So as you can tell, it's favorable to have a long-term capital gain versus a short-term capital gain based on this, there were stipulations that describes what each one is. But also keep in mind that on your short-term capital gain, they add that to your actual income that you may receive. So if you receive $80,000 from a job, you had $20,000 in short-term capital gains, you're going to have $100,000 taxable toward you based on the threshold that you fall under the amount of income that you have earned collectively. Also, you have to be mindful if you're in a state where they tax capital gains, then there's another tax implication that you may have to be mindful of when your taxes come due. So keep those in mind. So people ask that question again, when do I sell a stock or not? That's the question you used to ask. What tax implication that you wanted to have effect on to you? I hear a lot of people say long-term capital gain because the tax is less. Let me give you a different perspective. If you have a stock, let's say you're in and you gained $1 million in that stock in 3 months, and there's no guarantee that stock is going to be worth $1 million to you when another 9 months come and you held it for a year and sold it. So a bird in the hand philosophy for me, if I had a stock and I gained $1 million profit on it in that 3 months, then I would sell the stock. I won't be taxed until the following year. So I have at least 10 to 11 months or so before I even taxed on it. Now, there's such thing called opportunity cost. Basically the cost of having your money in one place that you can't do something with it in the other place. So in this scenario, for me, I don't really particularly care about long-term or short-term gain. At that particular point, I'm caring about the profit in hand. So for $1 million, I can take the $1 million, flip it any kind of way I went within 9 months, possibly make more than $1 million off the $1 million, and I'll be taxed accordingly at the higher bracket. But the opportunity cost was I secured that $1 million 3 months in. I was able to take the $1 million, possibly make more money off of it from a profitability standpoint. So the person that held it for a year, their stock for a year with $1 million, they went 9 months and went to $1 million. There's no guarantee. It may be went from $1 million to 400,000. So yes, they're going to be taxed at a lower tax rate. But mind you, they lost $600,000 in possible profits already. Where I gained $1 million in profit, was able to possibly gain more profitability off of it and went from there. So that's just perspective, and you can figure that out. Anyway, wanted to make it short and sweet to you, give you some education on the stock market. I'm not a financial advisor, so make sure you do your own due diligence. Thanks for following Stock Paper Chasers. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, refer your friends, and make any comments that you want in the comments below. Enjoy your day.